What's up, y'all? How's everybody feeling this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Big shout out to all the members in the building. I see y'all here early. Shout out to Big Yellow 317, our member in the building. Shout out to Zach, our member in the building, nice and early. Shout out to Major Ant in the building as well. And shout out to everybody else coming into the chat. I got a lot of stuff to go over today. We got the footage of Big U on his way to turn himself in to authorities. We broke that news yesterday. The whole internet broke that news yesterday. The RICO charges and the whole crackdown on the Rolling 60 Crips, where they arrest like 19 or 20 people. Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon were three of the probably most publicly known names. Of course, a Big U, who's always been referenced as, for most degree, a leader of the Rolling 60 Crips, right? But he's got a video as he's turning himself in. So we're going to take a look at that, do some reaction there. We got paperwork. Drake's lawyers demanding Kendrick Lamar's contract, amongst some other things from UMG, as well as UMG's response to that. All right, what else do we got? We got some Kanye updates. Why not? Lately, at least for the last week or so, this ain't a long stream without some Kanye stuff. We got a quick Young M.A. Update as well. So we got a bunch of stuff to go over. Let's start to get into the big news. Yeah, let's do. Oh, yeah, I got another one, too. I got a quick K-Flock update as well. But let's get into Big U. He turned himself in. When they start sending SWAT teams all over the place the way that they were, and you got all these targets getting apprehended around the same time, and he was on the lam. He was deemed a fugitive. At the press conference, they said, this man is still on the run. If you have any information, please let us know. You're fighting three areas there. The first area that you're fighting is how well organized and how much information these people have to begin with when they're on your ass. They have addresses, they have associates, they know your girlfriend, your girlfriends. They'll put tracking devices on your associates and follow them to you. That's one thing that's going on. It's just like a big coordinated effort. That's very, very tough to evade. And that also you fit technology into that as well. It's just like your cell phone ping and all types of crap. So to get away from that, they will get their man eventually. Number two, you're facing informants, you're facing snitches. There seems to be somebody that's providing a lot of information as it relates to the murder that happened in Vegas, the man by the name of RW that they're putting on Big U, right? Where he supposedly picked him up at a recording studio, drove to Vegas, down Interstate 15, dumped his body in a dish after shooting him a couple times, allegedly. I got some videos related to that story. So you're dealing with that. And then the third factor is all the pressure, all the law enforcement that could also be putting pressure on your associates, your family. Hey, we feel like you're harboring a fugitive, or all these attacks that they have. And you got that third factor of just turning yourself in, right? So they're going to get their man. Like, nobody thought that Big U was going to pop up in fucking Bali 5 years from now. No, it was going to be days or weeks at most. This is the video of him turning himself in, though.
This is my last video before I turn myself in. With my family. Talk to my sons. I talk to everybody, man. I'm saying, I want to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. Shit's all bullcrap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all. I don't even know what to say. I've been 21 years, elevated my family, come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted for doing it.
It's frustrating. It might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family. Appreciate y'all. Go. I'm looking at this video as I come in to turn myself in, and I'm disheartened by the fact that they're trying to say that I stole something from Developing Option. I used Developing Option for some front. Developing Option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made from as an employee.
Did he just say something that could be used against him? As we catch that, he said development options, and we broke down. If y'all didn't see us actually do a read of like the charges and like not the unsealed actual indictment paperwork. We're still waiting for that, but pretty much the legal write-up. We read that on yesterday's stream, and we broke down development options and all of the white collar crimes that they're tying to him. The COVID fraud, the nonprofit organizations that were also being funded by the mayor's office related to gang youth violence, the donations that they said came from celebrities such as Shaquille O'Neal and Draymond Green, and how that was used, all that white collar stuff, tax evasion, I believe, all that types of stuff. Right now, right there, he just said himself. He said the development options, which is the program that they tied to him, right? He just said, I use that to pay my bills and to pay my mortgage. Did he just say that? Let's bring that back, because we discussed that yesterday. Can you use, especially if it's government funded, like let's say the COVID relief money or your nonprofit money for development options, can that be used in all those different scenarios for your own personal bills? That becomes a question. You saw in the press conference yesterday, the criminal department for the IRS stood up and took the podium as well. So there's a lot of fraud and white collar crime stuff tied to this. But let's see what he just said himself. I wonder if he heard himself there.
Stole something from development option. I used development option for the front. Development option paid my bills. They paid my house note. They paid the bills for my family, the money I made from as an employee for development option. I never mixed that with nothing. I didn't manipulate nobody. I didn't steal nothing. We did PPP loans. We did 2 loans. And that's it, just like everybody else did. I didn't use no fraud. I didn't give none of fake names. And one of them we was paying back and one they forgave. You know what I mean? And the other one we attempted for and they didn't give us nothing for it. I filed my taxes and them coming around talking about I'm just using development option as a cover. Cover for what? None of that's going to be true. None of that's going to be true. The government put this big ass picture. They're going to arrest 21 dudes. Some dudes I don't even talk to. I don't even know nothing about. So how the hell you going to lump me in with all them? But it's all a big picture, though.
You could say lump you in with all of them, or you could also look at it in the opposite. Lump them in with you, right? You are considered, you have the reputation of being the leader of the 60s, right? You are the biggest name on that sheet that they laid out, all the 19, 20 people that they arrested, right? So just as easy as he can say, how you gonna lump me in with them? They could be sitting there in jail right now. They got grabbed and they was in custody since yesterday and day before. They could be saying, nigga, I'm here because of you, right? And I saw somebody, I put that I pulled up on the screen from the chat. Yes, we did hear a couple months ago ties between Sue Surf being in jail and Big U. Now, I'm not going to get into details because I don't have it here in front of me and I don't have those specifics of what was being alleged or what was being talked about. But yeah, we saw those links. And yeah, even though Surf has always repped the 60s, he's repping it all the way from fucking Jersey and different states. He makes his travel into the homeland and he might link up with the homies and tap in with people like Big U. He said that. I remember saying that. Ain't nobody putting Big Surf out there. First of all, he's already serving his time, scheduled to hopefully be home this year, so free to wave. And I'm not saying nothing that Surf hasn't said himself. I remember arguments of like Sue Surf and Danny Myers online getting into it. And Danny Myers is like, you can't come out here, talking about the West, like them getting into it. And Surf is like, what? I can't come out there. I was just, Big U, he treats me like a son. Like this is Sue Surf's words. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, Surf is in jail and reports start coming out linking these two guys because they both affiliated or represent publicly the 60s. That S don't just mean Surf. That hat from the, anyway, I mean, he says it himself. Like, we get it. We get it. But Big U, there's a lot of people that can be hurt and tied into your stuff. All right. So don't get up in there and send these videos back home talking about I'm here because of these 20 people when you rolling around representing the kingpin of the 60s. Like that, I don't understand. I don't understand that.
It's all the big picture. Now I'm gonna be sitting in here. It's gonna be years out of my life. Then you going to get dudes who I don't even talk to. What they gonna say? You ruining people's lives. I heard this over 21 people that's been arrested. This shit wrong. It is what it is. Church, just pray for me. Pray for me. Pray for my family. And look at what we did. You look at what I did. I've been home 21 years. It ain't over though. That's what it's not. Blessings. I'm looking at all these charges on the news. I'm headed back to LA. And then I'm looking at the people they're arresting. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? That's a built-in liar right there. You know what I mean? So is that how they gonna work the case? Everybody know I don't fuck with Cannon. Everybody know I don't fuck with Brick Baby. So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me, them is the dudes you gonna have to call themselves turning against me. Well, ain't no turn against me. I ain't going for that. You might as well go get 600 and Wack.
He just clearly alluded to it. You know, I don't fuck with Brick. You know, I don't fuck with Loose and all these guys or whatever. But they absolutely are in custody on the same charges. Did he just allude to those are the people that you expect to cooperate against you? Is that what he just alluded to?
These dudes been saying I did shit all year. So what they doing is they go on the internet, and these dudes say that I did shit on the internet. Then when you say I did on the internet, they go investigate it. Now you raiding my houses, raiding my shops, raiding all this stuff. And talking about I'm committing crimes and covering up with developing option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with developing option? You know what I'm saying? I ain't committed no crimes and covered nothing up with developing option. Shit crazy. But this how they get you. They get one or two people to say something. Ain't gonna be no real evidence. Ain't gonna be no real nothing. It's gonna be a repeated thug. It's gonna be a bunch of people in jail for a bunch of different crimes that don't have nothing to do with me. They finna lock all of us up and say it's all of them 60s. Watch and see. We just seen it with thug. I'm finna experience the same thing out here. I knew it was coming. Now they on there saying all this stuff to assassinate my character. All right, man, just pray for me. And again, they can do any one of us. It ain't nobody safe with these dudes. If these dudes feel like want you, how they going around talking about somebody's gonna raid my house before my house get raided? How they there with the police? And y'all sitting there following them. Everybody that's a part of them shows, and 100 shows, and all them shows, and y'all need to, everybody who following them, promoting them, anything. Y'all wrong. Y'all ain't black. And y'all showing for our people. They can put charges against anybody. So this is gonna probably be my last video. I'm gonna go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. He's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack. Wack, Loose Cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all filed. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this fuck shit. If you have something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city 3 days in a row and told the city they didn't want nobody to give me no more money. They went to all the different celebrities and told all the different celebrities, don't give me no money, don't help me, don't do nothing for me. They going around scaring and intimidating everybody. But y'all sending it around, getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You're just guilty because somebody else don't like you and ain't going to the internet and do what the fuck they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Because I ain't did nothing. The fact is, man, they done went to my house, kicked my houses in, bust my doors down, bust my windows. They calling my son at his football practice, threatening him. You know what I mean? These dudes tagging him. What kind of shit is this? But y'all gonna be rolling with these dudes. And I got this last thing to say. Wack said he's gonna destroy developing option, right? So who gonna replace developing option? Which one of you fuck niggas in the 60s gonna call yourself coming in? Because whoever try to come in, y'all the ones that's working with Wack. Believe that. So remove me to get me out the way for somebody else to come in who gonna cooperate. That's what the play is. That's what the whole play is. I'm out. I'm gonna send y'all videos to put up all of them until they lock me up.
A lot to take from that last piece, man. I'm trying to remember all the points that I was catching as I was listening. Bear with me. Let me go to the end first. 1000% just called Wack working. 1000%. He said development options. If you remove him and somebody else comes in, and he's representing development options in that sense as something positive, like to help with the kids and all that and the youth. Somebody else comes in, and if development options is the target, the person that comes there is going to be working with, because he clearly said that, right? So expect Wack, and I think he already is, to be going crazy for the next weeks, months, whatever, continuing to berate and release past information that was never public, as well as phone calls and text messages and all this type of stuff, because he's going to have to continue to remove himself from this. Wack. And he would be talking about it anyway. It's Wack 100. But you are clearly calling him an informant or a rat, or that he's working with the feds, he's working with them people. Clearly, Big U. Now, let me jump back to the beginning of that last segment. He said they're going to do me just like Young Thug. The same thing just happened. Well, there is a big difference there. Now, don't get me wrong. Gotti is targeted way before Sammy the Bull is. Like Gotti, like Sammy the Bull could be having literally more bodies under his belt when it comes to pulling the actual trigger or swinging the bat or whatever the fuck they doing it. But Gotti still is the shot caller, so he still gets the body too. Like, I sent Sammy, right? In the Young Thug situation, nobody ever thought that he was the one when it comes to Big Nut that pulled the actual trigger, right? A lot of people are still pointing towards Woody. And in this case, one thing that is different is even Big U, and a lot of that I'm turning myself in videos that he was just doing, he did what we were doing on the stream yesterday, which was we was focusing a lot on the white collar shit. You want to know what just that fast between last night and this morning has grown 1,000 times more legs? Focusing back to the murder of this RW up and coming rapper, right? That's a big difference between the Young Thug stuff and his stuff. They got you as Gotti, Big U, the top guy, and they also got you as the actual murder man to this guy, RW. So you mentioned 600. Pretty much, I think, is calling him a snitch as well. And obviously, it's talking about the indirect shit or the dry snitching all across the internet between Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and Wack 100. We all know that. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But peep this video right here from 600. This is 600 talking about DNA that was allegedly found related to Big U, pertaining to the victim, the person that was murdered, this RW person, okay? There's another video as well that I'm not going to bring up, an alleged recorded phone call between Wack 100 and I believe either RW's mother or his people's, and she tells Wack 100, between me and you, don't say nothing. They're going to go pick Big U up somewhere around end of March, early April. This whole DNA thing of DNA of the person that was killed being traced back to Big U is becoming a big thing. Not that you sent it, no, that you are Gotti and you were there and you allegedly did it.
Pretty disturbing news, man. And I remember a couple of days ago when I mentioned that case where the kid, the football player, you know, was Big U's son's best friend, played on the football team, who was living with Big U, was killed. And it was saying that Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support, anything. Just blocked her and everything, right? It was just like, damn, bro, like you always say if you know anything about these gang murders to give you the information. But when the football player is the best friend of your son who was living with you turns up dead, you don't want nothing to do with nothing, right? So the news came out today, this morning. The mother said that Big U has been denying to give his DNA. So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA came.
Before I start this video, I want to say,
wow. So that's heavy. That's big. The backstory that I've been seeing going around on the internet and y'all sending me thus far is this RW guy. You know, he lived with Big U at a time, as he mentioned, as 600 mentioned, you know, best friends with Big U's son, aspiring football player, And obviously an aspiring artist. They name that in the presser and everything, right, from the authority side. You know, gets sent to the studio, paying for studio time of this Grammy award winning producer, right? Is wasting the studio time, not really getting the work done. At some point, allegedly, a diss track by this man gets recorded towards Big U, and one of his peoples head up there. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, there's an altercation that happens at the studio. They then get into a car, they leave. One person comes back instead of two to the studio. Allegedly, when Big U comes back to the studio of this Grammy Award winning producer, whether he was there or not, or he just owns the studio, I'm pretty sure all this will continue to come out. Allegedly, Big U then requests all the footage, all the cameras, all the footage, so that the incident isn't there, so that who was there, who came, who left, times, and all that type of stuff. Later on, shortly after, they find this man in a ditch in the desert, the RW guy, right? So to say that the mother of this deceased up and coming football player / rap artist, RW, right? That this person used to live with Big U and was best friends with Big U's son, but you didn't attend the funeral, you stopped answering calls, you started blocking the family, allegedly, right? They're blaming you for this because there's association. It could be the big producer that said, like, oh yeah, they was both here. Big U was here, but you don't just go pick up Big U for that. You start to do what detectives do. You continue to put it together. Eventually, they want Big U's DNA because they find DNA underneath RW's fingernails, and all. It could be defense wounds, it could be from fighting, it could, whatever the case may be, to the point where they send a warrant to Big U to collect his DNA. And allegedly, when they collect his DNA, they find a match. So just that fast from last night to today, we did all this focusing just like Big U just did in his, hey, I'm on my way to turn myself in video. We focus so much on the white collar crimes. And I believe that that's a lot of heavy shit too, as well. But just that fast, this murder investigation, it's got saying that it got legs ain't even the right terminology. That shit sounds like you got a lot to deal with. DNA, alleged footage that was removed. You probably got a couple witnesses there. Who's this Grammy Award winning producer? He's a civilian, probably. You know, he's gonna give up. You don't gotta say like, oh yeah, he killed him, but was he here? Yeah, he was. What time was it? Okay, what time did we find the body? And all this forensics and whatnot starts to come in. These detectives do their job. They got you a timeline. You become the top suspect. They got you going through tolls and whatever it is. And it's just like, okay, you put all that in front of the jury. They go back and they deliberate and they say, we don't got the footage of seeing him do it, but we believe he did it. Guilty. Along with all this other shit that he's got to fight at already the age 57. Just saying. All right, we'll keep moving along to the Drake stuff, but that Big U situation, as well as the other members, they got a lot going on. Drop a comment below or drop in the chat if you have any early predictions of people turning informant. Whether you think it's going to be Loose or Brick or some of the other people that were arrested or Big U or whoever, drop a comment if you believe that people will turn informant. I think there's a high probability, right? All right. What's going on with Drake and his legal situation? This one isn't going to be too long. We're going to be able to get through this topic right here a little bit faster than the Big U one. But what's going on? We saw the ether. We read through the whole paperwork. It was like 30 plus pages of UMG's ether-like response to Drake of why this defamation lawsuit should be dismissed with prejudice. Right? We read through that. It was crazy. You see the response on the internet to that. Then now we're hearing what Drake is requesting is discovery items, right? He's requesting things like Kendrick Lamar's contract. Right. And UMG is already responding to that. Like, wait a minute, like the stuff that he's requesting, we ain't fit for that. But let's get some backdrop and then let's look at some of the items themselves. UMG's motion to dismiss sets forth substantial grounds for dismissal. So we kind of went over all of that within the initial response from UMG itself. So we understand that they have a lot of grounds to move towards dismissal as they did. That was like the last sentence in their whole write-up, right? Should this be dismissed with prejudice? Boom, we're done. Right. But as we start to get to Drake's discovery requests impose undue burden on UMG. Let's read that. A stay is also warranted here because Drake has requested broad discovery going to all of his claims and allegations. These requests impose undue burden on UMG, particularly as discovery is likely to be rendered moot upon resolution of the motion to dismiss. So that's a clear interpretation. They're saying, number one, this is a big burden to discover and to produce and put together all the stuff that he's asking for, right? Number two, it might be a moot point for me to go on my side and do all this work to collect all the shit that he's asking for, because we still talking about a movement towards dismissal. So I want a verdict on that. I want you to tell me that you agree, yes, this should be dismissed, or no, you don't agree, and then we got to continue. If we got to continue, then okay, then we'll start to talk about me giving him the stuff that he's asking for. That makes sense. Drake's first set of discovery requests consists of 18 items that will require costly collection and review of large swaths of hard copy and electronic data sets, contracts and agreements, and communications. Drake's requests also seek production of confidential, proprietary, and highly commercially sensitive documents, including all contracts between UMG and Kendrick Lamar. Documents showing the executive compensation structure and annual incentive plans for Interscope Chief Executive Officer John Janik for the past 5 years, and Interscope's 2024 executive incentive metrics, targets, projections, and performance used to determine annual incentive compensation for Interscope's executives and officers. So why would he want Kendrick's contract? Why would he want Kendrick's contract? Right? Anything numbers wise, and in a situation like this, when you're talking about defamation, you know, you want to continue to figure out any incentives for those two guys to pair up and work together to do something that defamed you and promoted him in such like ways that you wouldn't do in other circumstances. We get it. That's nothing new to us, right? Kendrick's contract, though, as far as dollar for dollar, you don't always got to request things in discovery that can 100% help you. Sometimes you just want to collect shit that can benefit you in other ways. Right? Like I said, sometimes lawsuits ain't even directly for what you're actually putting a claim in for. Sometimes there's sneaky tactics to use the court to get your hands on or to aid yourself in other things. Hint, hint, right? But I could understand in the midst of this, me wanting Kendrick's contract for one reason or another, but it still reminds me of what I said prior, and I stand on it. I think that there's a 50-50 chance if this case continues, if they don't get to a point of dismissal and they continue with litigation, and we clearly see down the road that you guys are going to end up in trial. You guys are going to go all the way. There's too much money on the table. Both sides are going to fight. They both are going to go all the way 1000% until they get to a jury trial, right? I then believe 50-50 Kendrick comes in legally in some way or another. I don't put it past Drake. I really, really do. Some way or another, whether he gets subpoenaed, whether they want him to testify, whether he actually gets sued for something. After, like, what if they get something in discovery that makes them feel like, oh, Kendrick did something very dirty to them as well? They're going to sue him. They're going to add him. He's just going to be in an amended complaint. I'm telling you, 50-50, Kendrick can come in one way or another, subpoenaed, information, or flat out sued. All right. Now, as far as the executives, that's clear to me. You want to prove the incentives of how much they get paid. So if I request the last 5 years and it shows 5 years ago, Lucian and the other executives got paid $100 million for that calendar year, right? With their incentives. And the incentives, what is the word incentive? Meaning that you did certain things to be incentivized to get extra bonus, extra monies, extra whatever, right? So what all my incentives of the deals I closed with iHeartRadio and the deals I negotiated with Spotify and all the work that I put in and how I promoted this single over here that went to the charts, with all my incentives, 5 years ago, I got $100 million. 4 years ago, I got $101 million. 3 years ago, I got $105 million. 2 years ago, I got $110 million. All right, similar ranges, right? Based on similar metrics, right? You get all these different baselines to compare. Then this year, the current year, the year that Not Like Us went, oh, now you got 400 million. You was averaging like 104, 105 million within the last 4 years. But this year, your incentives and your base pay quadrupled. I'm going to say that's because not like us. And if I can prove that what you normally get paid versus what you got paid in the midst of all this not like us Kendrick promotion and push and payola or whatever, I believe that's why he went after Spotify and iHeartRadio. This is the type of information he wanted to then complement towards UMG. If I start to show that those type of hikes and jumps, then you establish things like motive. It doesn't clearly say that UMG is guilty, but establishing motive is still good for the jury to hear. Motive. Why would UMG comes up and says, hey, everybody, why would we do this? Drake works for us. Kendrick works for us. Why would we do this? Drake says, well, look at this. You got 4 times the amount of money that you normally make. That's why I believe you did it. Right? So I get it. Legally, I get it. I understand why they're asking for the incentives and all that type of paperwork. It's financial. But UMG is already fighting back, saying that that's sensitive information, and it's sensitive for multiple reasons. First of all, it's my private shit, right? I don't want you necessarily knowing what I made last year, right? Number 2, your competitors, right? It was alleged that one person from battle rap or one person in another company or multiple companies, whatever, were in a lawsuit, and as it got towards the end, it was alleged publicly, it was spoken about publicly amongst bloggers and fans. It was perceived that the moment that records had to be made public or could be made public, that's where things wanted to end, right? Because you don't want your competitors to possibly see your numbers. Like does Coca-Cola want to end up in a lawsuit and have how much money they make per year getting seen by, damn, I can't even name another fucking soda because they own all of them, right? They're all owned by the same shit. Mercedes-Benz and BMW. Like, wow, that's better. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't want your competitors to know that type of stuff. It could be used against you. You think it's like, all right, you know what I make? Like, we both make billions of dollars, but it could literally be used against you. Like, okay, the way I produce my product, the way I'm cutting corners over here, like I can get advantages on my competitors by knowing their finances. Like, it runs deep. It runs deep. So UMG, Drake has a valid reason for asking for it, and UMG has a valid reason or multiple valid reasons to protect it. Thank you, JJ said Pepsi. For a second, I wasn't really sure if Pepsi and Coca-Cola were owned by the same shit. I be forgetting. Hey, fact, stop that shit in the chat, man. I just be fucking alluding to stuff, man. Ain't nobody say no names and no companies. I'm not gonna pull it up on the screen. I see facts in the building. What's good, G? All right, let's get back to this paperwork though. So that I think is the bulk of it though. Is there more that they're asking for? Yeah, let's continue. And Interscope's 2024 executive incentive metrics, targets, projections, there you go, and performance used to determine annual incentive compensation for Interscope's executives and officers for the past 5 years. Drake appears poised to pursue further expansive discovery as he has already served for third-party subpoenas. So who's a third party, right? I'm suing UMG, a third party within the midst of all this, Spotify, for example, right? So third party subpoenas. Okay. So he's saying you're asking me for shit that you've already subpoenaed other people for, right? Okay. So it's like 2 moot points that I think that they're calling out there. A stay should be granted because it will likely avoid the need for costly and time-consuming discovery. Discovery is very costly, people. You think that everybody just has a little file cabinet with their tax records in it, like you and I, like regular tax-paying, everyday regular civilians, right? No. When you run a company, what's a good one of that? That happened in Devil's Advocate too. Remember the scene in Devil's Advocate where they had to start cleaning house and it was pulling like an overnight shift? It was like at night and all that. I think Keanu walks by like, what the fuck y'all doing? And they was burning all these, like trying to bring up records and trash. Remember that scene in Devil's Advocate? Same thing with me. I went through a discovery process, and it doesn't even have to be, watch this. It doesn't even have to be the things that you have to produce. Like, damn, like they want my RBE contracts for the last 8 years. They want this, they want that. And I got to spend weekends pulling all this information together to provide to the court, to provide within the discovery process. I could still spend money even from the other side. For example, it's 2 sides to the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I can say, okay, you want all this stuff from me? Cool. I want all this shit from you too. I make my request too. UMG could ask Drake for stuff in discovery. It goes both ways, right? The stuff that I got in one of the situations that I was involved in, was so much paperwork. My lawyer had to hit me up, and there was like some type of software that charges by like, you know, the way it's processed, you know, the amount for them to go through. Like, and it was like, this is an extra charge. Like, and I was just like, I get it. It's part of the process. Like, all right, handle your handle. But no, I want all that shit. I want you to go through all of it. Fine tooth and nail. Go through all of the shit. All of it. That is costly because you got time spent with your attorneys, sifting through shit, reading through shit, finding things that are contradictions, finding things that help your defense or your plaintiff or your claims, right? You got all of that. You got the production of it. If Lucian Grain turns around to his office and his workers and says, all right, this is a big week for us. We got a deadline from the courts saying 2 weeks from now, we need to give Drake the last 5 years of all of this shit. Somebody's got to go retrieve all of that. It's all man hours work, attorney's fees and all that. It can get costly. It really, really can. So everything that I'm reading right now is not fluff, is not bullshit. I get it. I get it. Drake appears poised to pursue further expansive discovery as he has already served. Okay, we saw that. Indeed, because the disposition of the dismissal motion may significantly narrow, if not eliminate, the issues remaining in this case, proceeding with discovery while the motion is pending would waste the party's resources and would constitute the undue burden on defendant. I get it. Niggas say, yo, we ain't even talk about this dismissal I just asked for yet. Fuck you mean give you shit? Don't try to put the horse in front of the wagon, dog. All right, Drake will not be prejudiced by a stay. Finally, a short delay in discovery does not pose any risk of prejudice, and any assertion otherwise by Drake is unfounded. Okay. Delay in discovery without more does not amount to unfair prejudice. There is no potential for prejudice here since this matter is in its early stages and is being actively litigated. That's true. That's true, right? Finding that stay in discovery would not unfairly prejudice plaintiff as the motions to dismiss already have been filed, and thus any stay would last briefly, cleaned up. Furthermore, UMG has agreed to preserve potentially relevant documents and will provide initial disclosures. Accordingly, a stay of discovery is appropriate because it will not cause prejudice or under delay. That makes a lot of fucking sense. I ain't gonna lie. So they're agreeing to maintain any records that Drake would want in this process. We're not going to go delete and scrub and throw out and burn shit. Now, of course, that could be a lie, but I mean, they're putting that legally. So if something like that gets proven, you're in trouble, right? It is what it is. So they're granting that, and they're saying that they've already filed for dismissal. So it's not unfair because Drake came and said, it's unfair, and we could end up in a prejudiced position by not getting these discovery items, by not getting these incentive and contracts and Kendrick's contract and whatnot, and UMG has said, no, slow down. We are still early in the litigation. I'm not just going to, because you decide to turn around and say, give me Kendrick shit, give me the owner shit, give me this shit, give me a deal with Spotify, give me all this paperwork. No, I'm trying to get this shit dismissed. I want the court to answer that first. Makes total sense. That is not a Drake bias or a UMG bias, right? That is clear, black and white, people. Okay. So, we got to keep moving. We got to keep it moving, man. We got a lot of stuff. So real quick, this is going to be the shortest one, I promise. K-Flock's updates. We may get a judgment in K-Flock's case today. Okay. Because there's no cameras in there, and a lot of the sources that podcasters like myself and others are following are people that are covering it from within the court, people like Inner City Press, and shout out to them once again. There's a couple other like little media outlets that got some articles and like summaries that are coming out, but it's not like the ASAP Rocky shit where we're going to just be sitting there watching the screen live on Crime and Law Network, and we're going to see not guilty and he's going to run and jump over and tackle Rihanna. We're not going to see that. You know what I'm saying? So Inner City's updates, this was yesterday. Okay, so the jury was in deliberation, so that's why a lot of people expected the verdict to come in yesterday. Okay, now jury deliberates in U.S. versus Perez. Once again, Perez is K-Flock. The courtroom gallery, 30-some supporters 8 law enforcement and inner city press covering the case. I would expect more than 30 people to be there for K-Flop between friends and family. I don't know. All right, so 18 hours ago, yesterday, an update at 1 was the first jury note is read out to the judge. The 4-person will be juror 1. That's all. Judge, see you for the next note. Unclear when. Okay. This is the second update, 16 hours ago, 2:05 p.m. So this was later we was getting into the afternoon as this was unfolding. Only law enforcement in the courtroom, people in the hall. The word is nothing, as in nothing coming out of the jury room. Again, this thread will continue. Okay, 15 hours ago, this was 3 p.m. yesterday. Jury still deliberating in U.S. versus K Flock since inner city press last update. All right, nothing crazy there he has. All right. After that, 14 hours ago, update number 4, jury has sent out a note / a question. The jury is asking for a definition of reasonable person. Oh, fuck, damn, I thought this was going to be fast, but I want to be as thorough as possible for y'all. Legal term, what was it again? My bad. It was reasonable person. We hear terms like reasonable doubt, right? Reasonable person is new for me, so let's pull it up. Reasonable person. What is that? In legal terms, the reasonable person is a hypothetical standard used to determine negligence, representing an individual or ordinary prudence and care whose conduct is used as a benchmark to assess the actions of others in given situations. So the fact that it's hypothetical and it's used as a benchmark, I use that. It's not like an attorney referencing a different case that's come through the court already to back their claims, because that wouldn't be hypothetical. But it's like saying in the court notes or whatever the jury is back there reviewing, there's somewhere in the case is a hypothetical. Like hypothetically, this rapper over here walks down the street and he turns around in this argument, he backs out his gun, and the other person may have had a gun, he shot and boom, boom, boom. So they're sending out a question based on that reasonable person. And I respect that. Now that we understand what that is, I respect that, because to me, that just shows that the jury is trying to be thorough, right? There's something in the case around a reasonable person that still could make a big point about K Flock's actions and what we're about to give a guilty, not guilty on. We got to send a question back out to the judge. I respect that. 14 hours ago, update number 5, waiting in courtroom. Defense says it emailed its proposed language on reasonable person to the court 10 minutes ago. All right, so the judge answered and sent that back. This is what we're talking about when we say here's the definition of reasonable person in that particular case or instance. After that, this was now around 4:32 p.m. yesterday. Prosecutors come back into court. The defense, do you want to confer? It seems like there's a lot of distance. Attorney of the USA of the United States, it's already defined in the jury charge. Okay. And then after that, this looks like the jury comes back in. All rise. Judge defense. The judge asked the defense. As for defense, I agree. There's a lot in the charge, but I'm okay with adding a sentence about a person of ordinary courage, whether that is under that definition related to the question that they sent out or something else that they're deliberating over. Okay. And then the attorney of the United States says, we prefer ordinary prudence and caution. Judge, People versus Gotez, that must be a typo, or maybe, I don't know, doesn't capture it. Okay. And the last update of yesterday, jury is let go for the day. Coverage will continue. Story is coming. So shout out to Inner City Press once again for the coverage. That's the update. It looks like the jury is doing their job of trying to be as complete with their assessments as possible and their interpretations as possible, sending questions out to the court and to the judge. All right. Maybe today, we'll see what happens for that young man. All right. Let's go to Kanye. I don't got no major Kanye energy today for anybody that's waiting for a rant. But let's see what the clown himself is talking about.
My thing is, when I go in, I'm going into these fights with shit I'm really dealing with, it'd be good if niggas like actually help me because what I'm saying is right. But instead, the Jews come in and punk these niggas into going against me and they forget about everything that I did for them. Every nigga I just named, I bled for these niggas. I did something. I put them on and shit. I took them with me on tour, had them open up this, that. And it's like, niggas don't have to be making statements against me in public. And everybody know what I'm saying is right. And I'm the only one who will fucking say this shit. It's like, I never, like, I'm the type of, like, my mom was a teacher. I'm a nigga, I like Donda is like a school. I want niggas to be better. I want niggas to get put on all this type of shit, but then it'd be the betrayal, it'd be all the sneaky shit that niggas do. But that's what it is in this celebrity game. It's like, it's really kill or be killed. Everyone wants to act like they're your friend and they want to try to come and kill the king. And then like the king's supposed to give everybody a hug afterwards. Like, look at all this shit, nigga. I am in pain, bro. I'm hurt by all this betrayal. And that's what it is. It's like, fuck all these niggas. None of these niggas help me out with the shit I'm dealing with my kids. They let the Kardashians walk around, just run over a black man's head. Like, I'm gonna take these black kids. Don't listen to him. He got a red hat. The red hat, nigga put me in the hospital. Off that shit. That niggas like Trump. You know?
Real quick, when he says niggas put him in the hospital and now they like Trump, you got to remember this too, Kanye fans and Kanye West yourself. You had a lot of outrage around this time, and I think we made this point early this week when I said Kanye West makes it very, very hard for people to stand by him, his friends, his family, and his associates. I might be here because I got your back, or I fuck with you. Pusha T had to walk away. Jay-Z had to walk away. Beyonce had to walk. A lot of his friends have to walk away because of his actions. He refuses to accept accountability for his own actions that make people say, I don't want to stand next to that. You sit here and say, oh, they called me for the remix, but then they wouldn't answer my phone after I mentioned Lucian. Well, they didn't show up to let you be all anti-Semitic or diss the Jews or go Hitler mode or to diss Lucian. It was about Drake. You know what I'm saying? But you took that spotlight in that moment to interject Lucian, which was me personally, the time that I even found out about Lucian. But that's your big fucking mouth, right? This was outrage. People like you make a point about the current. Yes. Today, Trump is more accepted within hip hop. I'll just stay with hip hop. I don't want to go culturally outside of that. I'll just stay within hip hop, right? He had a little run. He's pardoning rappers like Kodak Black and whatnot. And, you know, he's had some philosophies and some gangsterism and some statements that he's garnered a little bit more liking from the hip hop community, right? That is the current. Regardless of whether you agree with his policies or who he is as a person, I try to stay away from religion and politics on my channel. But back to 6 years ago, when you did this, there was outrage from the hip hop community and from the black culture, right? There was. Nobody this was just not the time. It was not a good time. This was an anti-Trump time for hip hop. And you are one of the biggest voices in hip hop. And look at you looking like a fucking coon with your fucking MAGA hat on.
You know, people expect that if you're black, you have to be Democrat. I've had conversations that basically said that welfare is the reason why a lot of black people end up being Democrat. They say, you know, first of all, it's a limit to amount of jobs. So the fathers lose the jobs and they say, we'll give you more money for having more kids in your home. And then we got rid of the mental health institutes in the 80s and the 90s, and the prison rates just shot up. And now you have Chirac, what people call Chirac, which is actually our murder rate is going down by 20%.
Shut the fuck up. I don't even want to hear this shit from you. His grandstand moment in front of the president to give his speech about wealth. You know what it is? Around that time, he's just hanging around Candace Owens a lot. And Candace Owens, she nails a lot of points. And Candace Owens is a very, very smart woman. Very, very smart woman. But you could see his attempt there of what he's trying to do and what he's trying to be like. As you're posturing and you're fucking cooning and you make it so fucking great for us to look at you at that time and say, what fucking side are you on once again? We see you looking for the clout. We see you trying to side, like even Democrat versus don't want to go political on my channel. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. I'm gonna leave the Democrat. I'm gonna leave it alone. Maybe I'll get fucking triggered to do that a different time.
Yo, this whole time I've been tweeting for the past 5 weeks of this, man.
expressing myself, and now like, you know, it's been very therapeutic. I never really realized the amount of times that I've been crossed. Like, say John Legend, for instance, like I definitely changed his life, brought him up, all that. And he just went against me because I like Trump. It was nothing against him. But he became a very vocal person against me. Like, I can't be his friend anymore. It's like, first of all, like, bro, I put you on. Like, everyone was so, you know, um, I just didn't appreciate it. And I just deal with that and get to a happy place. But something about the Cardi shit that was triggering me, just like how Trav and put me on the album. But then I understand it because I'm saying about the Jewish shit. But then it's like when he brought my daughter into it and was talking to this woman that does all of this evil shit right in front of everybody's face. Everybody knows it's happening. So like I feel like I'm being gaslit. None of these celebrities never say no, but they'll say something about my hat. You know what I mean? It's just like that just hit me in a different place. And it's too basic. You know what I mean? I know he just happy about his album and maybe he thought that was lit, or maybe he thought I would like it as something. I know he didn't know I wouldn't like the Skims bar, but it just really triggered a lot of things. It pulled things together between the idea of celebrity and family, and just that dichotomy that I've been fighting.
I don't need the rest. I already have my issue and my reaction to that. Here's the thing about Kanye West. When I listen to this, is him now describing why he was reacting like that in the direction of Cardi and Iggy, and he continues to bleed out his feelings towards celebrity help and people siding with him. Here's one of the biggest differences between Kanye and a lot of his associates and a lot of other people and some of us as well. He believes in fighting the most personal wars that he is involved with in the public and through the media, right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of parents, there's a lot of artists in the industry as well. If they're going through custody battles, if they're going through divorce battles, if they're going through relationship drama, they don't fight their wife, their husband, those disputes with the public, and literally are requesting public figures to publicly help their case and their plight. That's what Kanye wants. That's what he's begging for. That's what he's asking for. Okay? He expects that when he has a custody battle with Kim Kardashian, that any celebrity that believes that even if he's on the right side of it, he believes that they should step up just like him and use their celebrity voice and their fans and say, hey, me as Jay-Z, I want the whole world to know Kim Kardashian is wrong for what Kanye West is going through over them kids. That's what he wants. John Legend, I helped you out. I did a lot for your career. And when I wore the MAGA hat, that's his thing. If you don't side with him, that means that you're not his friend, or that negates what you did for me. Let me tell you something. If you purchase me a lottery ticket and I go fucking cash it in and get my $1 million, and then you now believe that I need to step on my own morals and principles for the rest of my life because you gave me opportunity or you gave me money, you are clearly wrong. That makes me purchasable. That makes me purchasable. Okay? If you're going to give me the money, let's make sure we understand these terms. Don't give me this money and say, oh, by the way, for the next 5 movies that you do, I need you to wear a dress. Nah, I'm cool. I'm going to go Dave Chappelle with it. I'm all right. Why you want me to wear a dress so bad? I'm cool. Oh, by the way, I want to purchase your voice. Anytime I speak, you speak. I don't necessarily want to put on a MAGA hat or start down in the Democrats or talk down on George Floyd or go back Hitler. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? That's his issue in this particular topic. He wants these other rappers and singers that he either helped, worked with, gave some light to, gave some success to, gave opportunity to, that he wants them to take on personal situations publicly alongside him. If the fight is, hey, let's fight the industry based on should we protect the freedom of speech in our lyrics? Right? If Kanye is leading that charge as such a big voice, I would be annoyed to not see some of the rappers step up with him. I would. I really would. This is why you got certain rappers that are weighing in and giving their opinions on Drake suing over this shit, because it's anti-hip hop. It's anti-rap battle. It's not what we do, right? You see Snoop and some of these people get questioned and they don't just say no comment. They answer. I don't know about that. That you could tell they're being a little reserved, but like, I don't know about the defamation. So there's a lot of artists that are speaking out, right? So that I get. I'm on board. But that's not the same as my daughter is having a 3-day proposal visiting rights from me opposed to 5-day. And that's me and Kim's argument. Yo, Jay-Z, you're going to talk. No, that's your home. That's your family. That's you and Kim. I'm not fucking her. You are. I could even be the godfather, but there's boundaries. There's boundaries. Y'all fuck around and go through all of this type of shit. I stand up and then y'all make up and then here I gotta go still smiling Kim's face. Nah, like I'm not getting in the level of y'all fucking custody battles publicly. I could get on the phone with me privately. We could bust it up, but you want to fight these battles using the public and you want your friends to help you. That's not their place. They don't have to. In some cases, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Iman Shumpert and Tiana Taylor are going through some shit, right? About their divorce and how the assets are being split up, right? Do you want all the fucking NBA players that are cool with Iman Shumpert to stand up and say, yo, Tiana Taylor, you shouldn't have got this, you shouldn't have got that? Those are the ones, it's like a man thing too. I'm sure a lot of women feel the same. Those are the ones where you fall back. You don't, I'm not getting in that one. Oh, you got arrested, you got, legally searched by, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're talking about hip hop. I'm here. You and your family fight. You and your wife fighting over your kid. No. You helping somebody doesn't buy the rights to having them publicly just jump into your shit. You want everybody included and sided on your side of your shit. That's a problem. It's a selfish ass nigga. I'm gonna keep showing y'all. I'm gonna keep showing y'all how selfish and disgusting this fucking guy is. I'm gonna keep showing y'all. What's this quick one? What's this? What's this? This is I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Beyonce's family down. There you go. That's what Jay-Z went at him for the first time. I said, yo, my family is that's off limits. And I just said that in the point I'm making about him. Like, me and you could have been brothers doing albums together, Watch the Throne and shit, but there's a limit. Don't fuck with my family. And here you go with your Twitter fingers towards Jay-Z and Beyonce again. What the fuck is wrong with him? I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Beyonce's family down and Jerry Lorenzo's family down. You're playing with people's families because there was a possibility of my Twitter being canceled, not because I'm a good person. You took it down because you want to maintain your Twitter, not because you realize like, oh, why am I playing with people's families again? He's a fucking dickhead. I took it down like Down syndrome. Oh, good job. Good job. Go ahead and fucking insult all the families, all the parents, all the people that are infected by Down syndrome. Go ahead, because it's not their choice to be born with that shit. Go ahead and offend them. That's your rap bar right there. I took it down like Down syndrome. Get it? Am I right? Fuck the world. Real talk. Fuck everybody. His Crash Out is epic, man. And I'm going to continue to have my fun with it. We're going to talk about it. And I'm going to continue to expose who the fuck he is. Fuck it. Now Jay-Z and Beyonce on the other end. Fuck those coon ass niggas and their entire families. Great. Great, Mr. Goldcheck. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. They must not have sided with you on something. Pussy nigga. This nigga's a pussy nigga, son. He's a pussy. He's got super Twitter fingers now, too. Okay. I also don't want Jay-Z to get in trouble for killing me. Maybe Drake Shooter top 5 can come kill me. All right, so that's a shot. Sarcasm. But I think he really does fear Jay-Z. No bullshit. I really do. I really do. He fears Jay-Z's reach. This isn't the first time that he's alluded to. If I end up dead or whatever, he probably feels like I'm playing with people and I'm exposing people and I'm talking about people and I'm violating people's families that literally can get me touched. Well, at least you know that niggas bleed just like us, Kanye. But at this point, the Jay-Z's of the world, he's probably getting numb to you. Like, there still are lines that you could cross that'll get responses from all the people whose attention that you want, obviously. But I think at this point, a lot of people, a lot of your industry friends, they know who you are. And they're just like, he said, what? Normally I'd be on 10 and want to beat the shit out of him or do something or call him or get next to him. But it's Kanye being Kanye again. Maybe he's off his meds. That's probably what they're saying at this point, dickhead. This will, I promise, definitely be the shortest one. I don't even know which one is the shortest topic. You know, this is a podcast, so we talk. It's not easy for me to just pull something up and say, here you go, we're out. I try to give y'all money's worth. I don't really consider this like a big deal, a big update, because I still don't know who this woman is, and I don't want to know who she is. I don't want to know her name. Fuck her. But allegedly, this is, I guess, something that was grabbed from the story of the girl that tried to expose Young M.A. and it blew up in her fucking face. Check this out.
So since y'all don't understand, I'm simply telling my story. And for y'all to understand, I had to tell them from beginning to end. Like I said, I wasn't bashing her. I was getting off all I endured, but I had to try telling the good for y'all to understand the bad. I mean, I ain't see her post nothing good, but okay. She said the good wasn't good. It was motive behind it, but forget it. I'm going to just skip all that and tell the bad. And therefore, now it will be taken as bashing. So she's trying to defend herself, saying, I ain't post all this and say all this to make Young M.A. look bad.
So she's obviously she did that post that we pulled up. She's like, I really don't care. I don't read my comments. I don't check my DMs. I really don't care. No, you are bothered by the backlash that you're getting. You deserve it. I hope that you do continue to see what you did, the disgusting low life shit that you did. I hope you continue to get reminded of it, right? I don't wish for you to get cyberbullied. Let me say that, because these fucking the sludges and the slime and the cowards and the brokies of the world, you know, you turn around and be like, the Sorry It's True podcast sent cyberbullying my way. No, I don't got no call to action for you, sweetie. I just got my own opinions. And what you did, it's low as fuck. It's low as fuck. But we already went down that rabbit hole. Let's focus on this yet again alleged response from the girl. The clear question that I still ask is, who's asking you for this information? Did something happen? Did I miss it, chat? Did I miss it? Did like Young M.A. drop some song that went viral or something, dissing this woman or something? Like, I didn't hear Young M.A.'s name come up until this shit, since she's been in the hospital, to be honest. And I don't see and know everything. I could miss some stuff. I will apologize to this woman on camera if I missed something grand like that. Like, what it's still my question. What inspired this? And from her own words here, allegedly, from what we're seeing, is you said, that video was out because it's part of the story. I got to tell the good and the bad. But who's asking you for the story? That's my question. Who is asking you for the story? Did you just, this is what we see, young lady. It looks like you woke up one day, for whatever reasons, whether Young M.A. did you wrong or not. I'm not in y'all fucking relationship. I don't know. I'll be fair. You never know. In y'all private relationship that I don't know nothing about. I don't even know y'all two. I don't know. I don't care. But did you wake up one day and say, get back to bitch, payback's a bitch, revenge is best dish served cold, and you posted that shit. And now you're trying to say it was a part of this grander story. So while you're in this rollout of telling social media and the world of what Young M.A. has gone through, what is the reason why? What is the call for us to be told why you and Young M.A. fell out or broke up or didn't work out? What is the call for it? Is there a book deal that's on the table? Is the whole public bombarding you and saying, speak, 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 speak? Is it a topic that's going viral around the internet? Our podcast is talking about it. What the fuck did I miss? Nobody's asking you for the story. Period. You woke up and you wanted to do this, allegedly. For whatever ambitions or motivations that you had. Clout, money, interviews, you missed the limelight, mad at Young M.A., whatever it is, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So I had to tell the story. What fucking story? Niggas break up and fall out and have toxic and bad relationships every day, B. Who the fuck is asking you about yours? And if you do feel to go chase the clout off of you and Young M.A.'s past, right? Then find a better way to start exposing it other than going to the low-level fucking gutter of putting out videos like that. Go ahead, test the water. Put out a tweet or a post. Anybody want to give me a $1,000 interview to talk about me and Young M.A. relationship? Some podcasters will pick it up. They'll bring you on their platform. They give you $1,000 for that. I won't, but they will. There are some. Go ahead and shop it. You went straight to exposing, so we don't believe you. You need more people. We don't believe you. We don't fucking believe you. The story. Like, imagine people in the chat. There's somebody that you dated months ago or even years ago, and you wake up one morning and they're just on the internet talking about you guys' past. Wouldn't you be like, get the fuck off my dick, move on, find something better to do? Am I the biggest person that you've ever met that you could talk about to garner some attention? Wouldn't that be how you felt? Like, move the fuck on, get off my dick. I didn't say your name. I didn't go to do no interviews, no podcasts, no tweets, no posts, not even get the fuck off my dick. Am I your claim to fame? Get off my dick. You might be, because that video that you put out, you claimed in your own caption, you were there giving her that chain and helping to clean herself up and nursing her after 2 weeks. So technically you didn't even belong there. So you might have been selling yourself. You wanted certain things. Listen. There are situations in this world where people, y'all in the chat, you might help white people in unsanitary like ways when if it's your mother that's in a nursing home or your child or whatever. Hell, any of y'all that got kids, you clean kids before. You done been through your share of dirty diapers, right? Right? There are circumstances where you don't lack no pride towards doing it. This is my mother. This is my father. This is my grandmother in the hospital. This is my newborn son or daughter still wearing diapers, right? Now, as an adult in an adult relationship, are you going to do that for somebody that you met 2 weeks ago? Better question might be, what would inspire somebody to do that after knowing somebody for 2 weeks? I'll leave that question right there. Shorty, go away. Go away. Thank you, everybody, for the chat this morning. Woosah, woosah, woosah. Because when I be leaving the chats abruptly, people be thinking, like, is he annoyed? Is he mad? Did his mother walk in and say, get off that computer? Like, I mean, woosah. 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 Happy Thursday. Shout out to the chat. I'm going to exit now. That's not abrupt, okay? I even gave warning this time, okay? Enjoy your day.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.